Who's there?
No, who are you? Stop and identify yourself.
Long live the king!
Bernardo?
Yes, it is me.
You're right on time.
The clock's just striking 12. Go home to bed, Francisco.
Thanks for letting me know. It's bitterly cold out and I'm depressed.
Has it been a quiet night?
I haven't even heard a mouse squeak.
Well, good night. If you happen to see Horatio and Marcellus, we're supposed to stand guard tonight, tell them to hurry.
I think I hear them. Stop! Who's there?
Friends of this country.
And friends to the Danish king.
Good night to you both.
Toodles, who's taking over the watch for you?
Bernardo's taking my place. Good night.
Hey, Bernardo.
Hello, is Horatio here too?
More or less.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, Marcellus.
So tell us, did you see that thing again tonight?
I haven't seen anything.
Horatio says we're imagining it and won't let himself believe anything about this horrible thing that we've seen twice now. That's why I begged him to come to on our shift tonight so that if the ghost appears he can see what we see and speak to it.
Oh, nonsense. That's not gonna appear.
Sit down for a while, and we'll tell you again the story you don't want to believe about what we've seen 2 nights now.
Well, let's sit down and listen to Bernardo tell us.
Last night, when the star to the west of the North Star traveled across the night sky to that point where it's shining now, at 1 o'clock, Marcellus and I...
Woo! Quiet, shut up, it's come again.
Looking just like the dead king.
You're well educated, Horatio. Say something to it.
Doesn't he look like the king, Horatio?
Very much so. It's terrifying.
It wants us to speak to it.
Ask it something, Horatio.
What are you that walk out so late at night, looking like the dead king of Denmark when he dressed for battle? By God, I order you to speak.
It's gone, it won't answer now. It looks like you offended it.
Look, it's going away.
Stay! Speak! Speak! I order you to speak!
Alright, let's sit down and discuss that question. Someone tell me why this strict scheduled guard has been imposed, and why so many bronze cannons are being manufactured in Denmark, and so many weapons are brought from ahead, and why the shipbuilders are so busy they don't even rest on Sunday. Is something about to happen that warrants working this night and day? Who can explain this to me?
What's going on, Horatio? You're pale and trembling. You agree now that we're not imagining this, don't you? What do you think about it?
Swear to God, if I hadn't seen this with my own eyes, I'd never believe it.
Doesn't it look like the king?
Yes, as much as you look like yourself. The king was wearing exactly this armor when he fought the king of Norway. And the ghost frowned just like the king did once when he attacked the Poles, traveling on the ice in sleds. It's weird.
It happened like this twice before, always at the same time. He stalks us at our post like a warrior.
I don't know exactly how to explain this, but I have a general feeling this means bad news bears for our country.
Should I strike it with my spear?
I can, or at least I can describe the rumors. As you know, our late king, whom we just now saw as a ghost, was a great rival of Fortinbras, king of Norway. Fortinbras dared him to battle in that fight. A courageous Hamlet, or at least that's how we thought of him, killed old King Fortinbras, who on the basis of a valid legal document surrendered all his territories along with his life to his conqueror. If our king had lost, he would have had to do the same. But now, old Fortinbras' young son, also called Fortinbras, he is bold but unproven, has gathered a bunch of thugs from the lawless outskirts of the country. For some food, they're eager to take on the tough enterprise of securing the lands the elder Fortinbras lost. As far as I understand, that's why we're posted here tonight, and why there's such a commotion in Denmark lately.
I think that's exactly right. That explains why the ghost of the late king would haunt us now, since he caused these wars.
The ghost is definitely something to worry about. In the high and mighty Roman Empire, just before the emperor Julius Caesar was assassinated, corpses rose out of their graves and ran through the streets of Rome speaking gibberish. There were shooting stars and blood mixed in with morning dew, and threatening signs on the face of the sun. The moon, which controls the tides of the sea, was so eclipsed it almost went completely out, and we've had similar omens of terrible things to come, as if heaven and earth have joined together to warn us of what's going to happen. Ah! Wait, look! It has come again! I mean, if it's the last thing I do! Stay here, you hallucination! If you have a voice or can make sounds, speak to me! If there's any good deed I can do that will bring you peace and me honor, speak to me. If you have some secret knowledge of your country's sad fate, which might be avoided if we knew about it, then please speak. Or if you got some buried treasure somewhere, which they say often makes ghosts restless, then tell us about it. Stay and speak. Keep it from leaving, Marcellus. Yes, if it doesn't stand still.
It's over here.
There it is!
It's gone. We were wrong to threaten it with violence, since it looks so much like a king. Besides, we can't hurt it any more than we can hurt the air. Our attack was stupid, futile, and wicked.
It was about to say something when the rooster crowed.
And then I acted startled, like a guilty person caught by the law. I've heard that the rooster awakens the god of day with his trumpet-like crowing and makes all wandering ghosts, wherever they are, hurry back to their hiding places. We've just seen proof of that.
Yes, it faded away when the rooster crowed. Some people say that just before Christmas the rooster crows all night long, so that no ghost dares goes wandering and the night is safe. The planets have no sway over us, fairy spells don't work, and witches can't bewitch us. That's how holy that night is.
Yes, I've heard the same thing. Sort of believe it. But look, morning's breaking beyond that hill in the east, turning the sky red. Let's interrupt our watch and go tell young Hamlet what we've seen tonight. I'm sure this ghost that's so silent with us will speak to him. Don't you agree that we owe to him to tell him about this? Out of duty and love?
Let's do it. I know where we'll find him this morning.
Although I still have fresh memories of my brother, the eldest Hamlet's death, and though it was proper to mourn him throughout our kingdom, life still goes on. I think it's wise to mourn him while also thinking about my own well-being. Therefore, I married my former sister-in-law, the Queen, with mixed feelings of happiness and sadness. I know that in marrying Gertrude, I'm only doing what all of you have wisely advised all along, for which I thank you. Now, down to business, you all know what's been happening. Young Fortinbras, estimating my strength, or imagining that the death of the king has thrown my country into turmoil, dreams of getting the better of me, and never stops postering me with demands that I surrender the territory his father lost to Elder Hamlet. My dead brother-in-law, so much for Fortinbras. Now here's what needs to be done. I've written to Fortinbras' uncle, the present head of Norway, an old bedridden man who knows next to nothing about his nephew's plans. I've told that uncle to stop those plans, which he has the power to do since all the troops assembled in young Fortinbras are Norwegian. And thus, under the uncle's control, I'm given the job of delivering this letter to you, good Cornelius, and you, Boltamand. Your business in Norway will be limited to this task. Now goodbye. Show your loyalty by leaving quickly rather than with elaborate speeches.
We'll do our duty to you in that and everything else.
I have no doubt that you will. Goodbye. And now, Laertes, what do you have to tell me? You have a favor to ask of me. What is it, Laertes? You'll never waste your words when talking to the King of Denmark. What could you ever ask that I couldn't give you? Your father and the Danish throne are as close as mind and heart, or the hand and mouth. What would you like, Laertes?
My lord, I want your permission to go back to France, which I have left to come to Denmark for your coronation. I confess my thoughts are on France now, that my duty is done. Please, let me go.
Do you have your father's permission? What does Polonius say?
My son has worn me down by asking me so many times. In the end, I grudgingly consented. I beg you, let him go.
In that case, leave when you like, Laertes, and spend your time however you wish. I hereby grant you your request, and hope you have a good time. And now, Hamlet, my nephew and my son.
Too many family ties there for me.
Why are you still so gloomy with a cloud hanging over you?
It's not true, sir. Your son is out in the sun.
My dear Hamlet, stop wearing these black clothes and be friendly to the king. You can't spend your whole life with your eyes to the ground remembering your noble father. It happens all the time. What lives must die, eventually passing to eternity.
Yes, mother, it happens all the time.
So why does this seem so particular to you?
See, mother, no, it is. I don't know what you mean by seem. Neither my black clothes, my dear mother, nor my heavy sighs, nor my weeping, nor my downcast eyes, nor any other display of grief that can show what I really feel. It's true that all these things seem like grief, since a person could use them to fake grief if he wanted to, but I've got more real grief inside me than you could ever see on the surface. These clothes are just a hint of it.
Hamlet, you were so sweet and such a good son to mourn your father like this, but you have to remember that your father lost his father, who lost his father before him, and every time each son had to mourn his father for a certain period. But overdoing it is just stubborn. It's not manly. It's not what God wants, and it betrays a vulnerable heart and an ignorant and weak mind. Since we know that everyone must die sooner or later, why should we take it to heart? You're committing a crime against heaven, against the dead, against nature, and its irritation, since the truth is that all fathers must die. Please give up this useless mourning of yours and just start thinking of me as your new father. Everyone knows that you're the man closest to the throne, and I love you as much as any father loves his son. And your plans for going back to Wittenberg are not what I want. I'm asking you to stay here in my company as the number one member of my court, my nephew, and my son too.
Please answer my prayers, Hamlet, and stay with us. Don't go back to Wittenberg.
I'll obey you as well as I can, ma'am.
That's the right answer. It shows your love. Stay in Denmark like us. My dear wife, come. Hamlet's agreeing to stay to make us happy, and every merry toast I'll drink today will be heard as far as the clouds overhead. My drinking will be echoed in the heavens. Let's go.
Oh, I wish my dirty flesh could melt away into a vapor, or that God had not made a law against suicide. Oh God, God, how tired, stale, and pointless life is to me. Dang it, it's like a garden that no one's taking care of, and that's growing wild. Only nasty weeds growing in now. I can't believe it's come to this. My father's only been dead for 2 months. No, not even 2. Such an excellent king, as superior to my uncle as a god is to a beast, and so loving towards my mother that he kept the wind from blowing too hard on her face. Oh God, do I have to remember that? She would hang on to him, and the more she was with him, the more she wanted to be with him. She couldn't get enough of him. Yet even so, within a month of my father's death, I don't want to think about it. Oh, woman, you are so weak! Even before she had broken in the shoes she wore to his funeral, crying like crazy, even an animal would have mourned its mate longer than she did. Then she was marrying my uncle, my father's brother, who's about as much like a father as I'm like Hercules. Less than a month after my father's death, even before the tears on her cheeks had dried, she remarried. Oh, so quick to jump into the bed of incest. That's not good, and no good can come of it either. But my heart must break in silence, since I can't mention my feelings aloud. Oh look, Horatio, Marcellus, and Bernardo are here.
Hello, sir.
Nice to see you again, Horatio. That is your name, right?
That's me, sir. Still your respectful servant.
Not my servant, but my friend. I'll change that name for you. But what are you doing so far from Wittenberg, Horatio? Oh, Marcellus. Hello, sir. So nice to see you, Marcellus. Hey, Bernardo. Horatio, what are you doing far away from Wittenberg?
I felt like skipping school, sir.
I wouldn't allow your enemies to say that, and I wouldn't believe it from you. I know you'd never skip school. What are you doing here in Elsinore? I'll teach you to drink hard by the time you leave.
Sir, we came to see your father's funeral.
Please, don't make fun of me. I think you came to see my mother's wedding instead.
Well, sir, it's true. It came soon after.
It was all about saving a few bucks, Horatio. The leftovers from the funeral dinner made a convenient wedding banquet. Oh, I'd rather have met my fiercest enemy in heaven, Horatio, than have lived through that terrible day. My father. I think I see my father.
Where, sir?
In my mind. In my imagination, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was an admirable king.
He was a great human being. He was perfect in everything. I'll never see the likes of him again.
Sir, I think I saw him last night.
Saw who?
Your father, sir. The dead king.
The king of my father?
Don't get too excited yet, sir. Just listen carefully while I tell you the amazing thing I saw. These gentlemen as witnesses. After midnight, for 2 nights running, these 2 guards, Marcellus and Bernardo, saw a figure that looked very much like your father, in full armor from head to toe. Just appeared before them and marched past them with slow dignity 3 times, a staff's distance from their amazed eyes, while they turned, quaking with fear and too shocked to speak. They told me all about this, so on the 3rd night, I agreed to come stand guard with them, to see for myself. It happened again, just as they had described. I knew your father. The ghost looked as much like him as my 2 hands are like each other.
But where did this happen? On the platform where we stand guard, sir. Did you talk to it?
I did, sir, but it didn't answer me. It raised its head once, as if it were about to speak. But just then, the rooster started crowing, and the ghost vanished from sight.
That's very strange.
I swear to God, it's true, sir. We thought you ought to know about it.
Yes, I should know, but it disturbs me. Are you on duty again tonight?
Yes, sir.
It was armed, you say?
Armed, sir.
From head to toe?
Yes, from top to bottom, sir.
So you couldn't see the face then?
Oh, yes, we could, sir. Yes, helmet visor up.
Was he frowning?
He looked more sad than angry.
Was he pale or flushed and red-faced?
Very pale, sir.
Did he stare at you?
The whole time.
I wish I'd been there.
You would have been very shocked.
I'm sure I would have. Did it stay a long time?
About as long as it would take somebody to count slowly to 100.
No longer than that.
Not the time I saw it.
His beard was gray, right?
It was just like in real life. Dark brown with silver whiskers in it.
I'll stay in guard with you tonight. Maybe it'll come again.
I bet it will.
We'll do our duty to you, sir.
Give me your love instead, as I give you mine. Goodbye. My father's ghost. Armed. Something's wrong. I suspect some foul play. I wish the night were here already. Until then, I have to remain calm. Bad deeds will be revealed, no matter how people try to hide them.
My belongings are on the ship already. Goodbye, and my dear sister, as long as the winds are blowing and ships are sailing, let me hear from you. Right.
Do you doubt all right?
As for Hamlet and his attentions to you, just consider it a big flirtation, the temporary phase of hot-blooded youth. It won't last. It's sweet, but his affection will fade after a minute, not a second more.
No more than a minute?
Try to think of it like that anyway. When a youth grows into a man, he doesn't just get bigger in his body, his responsibilities grow too. He may love you now, and he may have only the best intentions, but you have to be on your guard. Remember that he belongs to the royal family, and his intentions don't matter that much. He's a slave to his family's obligations. He can't simply make personal choices for himself the way common people can, since his whole country depends on what he does. His choice has to agree with what the nation wants. So if he says he loves you, be wise enough to see that his words only mean as much as the state of Denmark allows them to mean. Then think about how shameful it would be for you to give in to a seductive talk and surrender your treasure chest to his greedy hands. Watch out, Ophelia. Just keep your love under control. Simply expose your beauty to the moon at night and risk enough. You don't have to expose yourself to him. Even good girls sometimes get a bad reputation. Worms ruin flowers before they blossom. Baby blooms are most susceptible to disease. So be careful. Fear will keep you safe. Young people often lose their self-control even without any help from others. Ophelia!
I'll keep your words of wisdom close to my heart. But dear brother, don't be like a bad priest who fails to practice what he preaches, showing me the steep and narrow way to heaven while you frolic on the promised path that's thin.
Don't worry, I won't.
Look, it's Dad.
I've been here too long, and here comes Father. What good luck to have him bless my leaving, not once, but twice.
You're still here? Shame on you. Get on board. The wind is filling your ship's sail, and they're waiting for you. Here, I give you my blessing again. And just try to remember, and don't be too quick to act on what you think. Be friendly to people, but don't overdo it. Once you've tested out your friends and you've found them trustworthy, hold on to them. But don't waste your time shaking hands with every new guy you meet. Don't be quick to pick a fight, but once you're won, hold your own. Listen to many people, but talk to few. Hear everyone's opinion, but reserve your judgment. Spend all you can afford on clothes, but make sure they're quality, not flashy, since clothes make the man, which is doubly true in France. Don't borrow money and don't lend it, since when you lend to a friend, you often lose the friendship as well as the money. And borrowing turns a person into spendthrift. And above all, be true to yourself. Then you won't be false to anybody else. Goodbye, son. I hope my blessing will help you absorb what I said.
I humbly say goodbye to you, Father.
Now go.
Peace out, old
The
man.
time is right. Your servants are waiting.
Goodbye, Ophelia. Remember what I told you.
It's locked away in my memory, and you've got the key.
Goodbye.
What did he tell you, Ophelia?
Something about Hamlet.
A good thing he did. By God, I've heard Hamlet's been spending a lot of time alone with you recently. You've made yourself quite available to him. Things are the way people tell me they are. They're only telling me this to warn me. I have to say, you're not conducting yourself with self-restraint. A daughter of mine should show what's going on between you two. Tell me the truth.
He's offered me a lot of affection lately.
Affection? That's nothing. You're talking like some innocent girl who doesn't understand the ways of the world. Do you believe his offers, as you call them?
I don't know what to believe, Father.
Then I'll tell you, believe that you are foolish, little baby, for believing these offers are something real. Offer yourself more respect. or not to beat this world to death, you'll offer me the chance to be a laughing stock.
Father, he's always talked about love in an honorable fashion.
Yes, fashion is just a word, a passing whim. Go on.
And he's made the holiest vows to me to back up what he says.
These vows are just trash for stupid birds. I know when a man is on fire, he'll swear anything. But when a heart's on fire, it gives you more light than heat. And the fire will be out even before he's done making his promises. Don't mistake that for true love. From now on, spend a little less time with him and talk to him less. Make yourself a precious commodity. Remember that Hamlet is young and has a lot more freedom to fool around than you do. In short, Ophelia, don't believe his love vows, since they're like flashy pimps who wear nice clothes to lead a woman into filthy acts. To put it plainly, don't waste your time with Hamlet. Do as I say. Now come along.
I'll do as you say, Father. The air is biting cold.
Yes, it's definitely nippy.
What time is it?
A little before 12, I think.
No, it's just after 12. I heard the clock strike.
Really? I didn't hear it. So it's nearly time when the ghost likes to appear.
Boom! Boom!
The king is staying up all night drinking and dancing. As he guzzles down his German wine, the musicians make a ruckus to celebrate his draining another cup.
Is that a tradition?
Yeah, it is. But though I was born here and should consider that tradition part of my own heritage, I think it would be better to ignore it than to practice it. Other countries criticize us for our loud partying. They call us drunks and insult our noble titles. And our drunkenness does detract from our achievements, as great as they are, and lessens our reputations. It's just like what happens to certain people who have some birth defect, which they are not responsible for, since nobody chooses how he's born, or some weird habit or compulsion that changes them completely. It happens sometimes that one little defect in these people, as wonderful and talented as they may be, will make them look completely bad to other people. A tiny spot of evil casts doubt on their good qualities and ruins their reputations.
Look, here it comes!
Oh, angels, protect us. Whether you're a good spirit or a cursed demon, whether you bring heavenly breezes or blasts of hellfire, whether your intentions are good or evil, you look so strange I want to talk to you. I'll call you Hamlet Senior, King, Father, Royal Dane. Answer me. Don't drive me crazy with curiosity, but tell me why your church-buried house have burst out of their coffin. Your tomb, where we quietly buried you, has opened up its heavy marble jaws to spit you out again. What could it mean that you have put on your armor again, your corpse, and have come back to look at the moon, making the night terrifying and stirring us humans with supernatural fears? Why? What do you want from us? What should we do?
I want you to go off with it. To tell you something alone.
Look how politely it's pointing you to a place that's farther away, but don't go.
Definitely not.
It's not going to speak, so I'll follow it.
Don't do it, sir.
Why? What's the danger? I don't value my life one bit. And as for my soul, how can the ghost endanger that, since it's as immortal as a ghost is? Look, it's waving me over again. I'll follow it.
What if it attempts to jump you in the sea, sir? Or it takes on some other horrible form that drives you insane? Think about it. The edge of the sea makes people feel despair, even at the best of times. All they have to do is look into its depths and hear it roar far below.
It's still waving to me? Go ahead, I'll follow. You are not going, sir. Let go of me.
Calm down, you're not going anywhere.
Is my fate calling me? Every nerve in my body is now as tough as steel. The ghost is still waving over. Let me go, gentlemen. I swear, if anyone holds me back, I'll make a ghost of him. I say, get away. Go ahead, I'll follow you.
His imagination is making him crazy.
Let's follow them. It's not right to obey his orders to let him go alone.
Go ahead and follow him. But what does all this mean? Where will it all end?
It means that something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
If that's true, we should let God take care of it.
No, let's follow him. Where are you taking me? Speak, I'm not going any further.
Listen to me.
I will.
The hour has almost come when I have to return to the horrible flames of purgatory.
Poor ghost.
Don't pity me. Just listen carefully to what I have to tell you.
Speak, I'm ready to hear you.
You must be ready for revenge too when you hear me. Oh.
What?
I'm the ghost of your father, doomed for a certain period of time to walk the earth at night, while during the day I'm trapped in the fires of purgatory until I've done penance for my sins. If I were forbidden to tell you the secrets of purgatory, I could tell you stories that would slice your soul and freeze your blood. Make your eyes jump out of their sockets, and your hair stand on end like porcupine quills. But mortals like you aren't allowed to hear this description of the afterlife. Listen, listen. If you have ever loved your poor dear father,
Oh gosh.
Take revenge for this horrible murder, that crime against nature.
Murder.
His most horrible murder. Murder's always horrible, but this one was especially horrible, weird, and unnatural.
Hurry and tell me about it so I can take revenge right away, faster than a person falls in love.
I'm glad you're eager. You'd have to be as lazy as a weed on the shores of Lethe not to get riled up here. Now listen, Hamlet. Everyone was told that a poisonous snake bit me when I was sleeping in the orchard, but in fact, that's a lie. That's fooled everyone in Denmark. You should know, my noble son, that the real snake that stung your father is now wearing the crown.
I knew it. My uncle?
Yes, that incestuous, adulterous animal. With his clever words and fancy gifts, he seduced my seemingly virtuous queen, persuading her to give in to his lust. They were evil words and gifts to just seduce her like that. Oh, Hamlet, how she fell. She fell from me, who loved her with dignity and devotion that suits a legitimate marriage, to a wretch whose natural gifts were poor compared to mine. But just as you can't corrupt a truly virtuous person, no matter how you try, the opposite is also true. A lustful person like her can satisfy herself in a heavenly union and then move on to garbage. But hang on, I think I smell the morning air, so let me be brief here. Your uncle snuck up to me while I was sleeping in the orchard, as I always used to do in the afternoon. He poured a bunch of poison in my ear. That poison moved like quicksilver through the veins and curdles my blood, which is just as it did to me. I broke out in a scaly rash. It covered my entire body. It was totally smooth and then it was a revolting crust. And now, how my brother robbed me of my life, my crown, and my queen all at once. He cut me off in the middle of my sinful life. I had no chance to repent my sins or receive last rites. Oh, it's horrible, horrible, so horrible that you are human. Don't stand for it. Don't let the Danish king's bed be a nest of incest. But however you go about your revenge, don't corrupt your mind or do any harm to your mother. Leave her to God and her own guilt. Now, goodbye. The glowworm's light is beginning to fade. Morning is near. Goodbye, goodbye. Remember me.
Ah, all you up in heaven and earth, what else? Shall I include hell as well? Dang it, keep beating my heart and muscles, don't grow old yet, keep me standing, remember you. Yes, you poor ghost, as long as I have my own power and memory in this distracted head. Remember you, I'll wipe my mind clear of all trivial facts and memories and preserve only your commandment. Yes, by God, oh you evil woman, you villain, you dang smiling woman. Where's my notebook? It's a good idea for me to write down that one can smile and be a villain. At least it's possible in Denmark. He writes, so uncle, there you are. Now it's time to deal with the vow I made to my father.
Sir, Lord Hamlet, please let him be all right.
I'm alright.
Oh, ho, sir.
Oh ho ho, kid, come here.
So how did it go, sir? What happened?
It was incredible.
Oh, please tell us, sir.
No, you'll talk.
I swear I won't, sir.
Okay, but you promise you can keep a secret?
Yes, I swear.
Any villain in Denmark is going to be, well, a villain.
You don't need a ghost returning from the grave to tell you that, sir.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So without further ado, the best thing to do now is probably just to shake hands and go our separate ways. You go and take care of your business, since everybody has some business to take care of, whatever it's worth. Now go and pray.
You're talking in such a crazy way, sir.
I'm sorry if I offended you, yes. Very sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it, sir. No offense taken.
Oh, but there is, Horatio. There's a lot of offense. As for this ghost we just saw, he's a real one. I can tell you that much. But regarding what happened between us, don't talk. I can't tell you. And now, my friends, my courageous and educated friends, do me one small favor.
What is it, sir? Of course we will.
Don't ever tell anyone what you've seen here.
We won't, sir. We won't.
No, but you have to swear it.
I swear to God, sir!
Swear by my sword.
But we already swore, sir.
Yeah, but swear by my sword this time.
Swear!
Is that what you say, kid? You down there, my man? Come on, you hear this guy down in the basement? Agree to swear.
Tell us what to swear, sir.
You swear never to mention what you've seen. Swear by my sword.
Swear!
You're everywhere, aren't you? Maybe we should move. Come over here, gentlemen, and put your hands on my sword again. Swear by my sword you'll never mention what you've heard.
Swear!
You said it right, old mole. You're pretty busy down there in the dirt, aren't you? What a tunneler. Let's move again, my friends.
My God, It's unbelievably strange.
And then give it a nice welcome as you would give to any stranger. There are more things in heaven and earth ratio than you've ever dreamed of. But now listen to me. No matter how strange I act, since I might find it a little appropriate to act a little crazy in the near future, you must never ever let on with a gesture of your hands or a certain expression on your face that you know anything about what happened to me here tonight. You must never say anything like, ah yes, just as we expected, or we could tell you a thing or two about him, or anything like that. Swear you won't.
Swear!
Okay then, on that, Ghost, you can rest now. So, gentlemen, I thank you heartily with all my love, and I'll repay you however I can someday. Let's go back to the court together, but shh, please. No talking about this. There's so much out of whack in these times. And dang the fact that I'm supposed to fix it. Come on, let's go.